All right. Oh, wow. Good. All right. A little surprise start. Cool. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the live stream. A lot of news going on in Whistler and obviously around the world at the moment. In terms of weather here in Whistler, we are coming out of one of the most recently historical winter storms. Just been absolutely destroying us for the last about month or so. It would have been good if it was all snow, except as it is a La Nina year, so we got a little bit of change in the circulation in the Pacific currents. And basically, that means that we get a ton more precipitation, but the temperature is a little bit warmer. And so the freezing level around here has been all over the place. It's been kind of crazy. So we have been getting a ton of snow. We've been getting like absolutely crazy powder days, but then we've also been getting a lot of rain up top, a lot of weird freezing levels, a lot of weird. The snowpack is just kind of going a little bit crazy at the moment. And the backcountry, speaking of transceivers, and I got a little Christmas present here. The backcountry is looking pretty nuts at the moment. We've been having quite a few breaks down deep. We've got a deep pour level around 1 to 2 meters. Getting some deep slabs popping off, and yeah, I mean, obviously you want to be ultra safe going to the backcountry. The best way is not to get involved in an avalanche at all. If you are going in the backcountry, that's the best way to stay safe. But of course, if you do, then you want to be comfortable and happy with your equipment, and yeah, trust your equipment, which is kind of why I'm here and basically talking about upgrading my Peeps DSP Pro, which is a whole other thing that I'm gonna get into because their response has been quite interesting to what has been going on with their transceiver, the DSP Pro, which has been in a little bit of hot water at the moment. And to speak on legal terms, I know that they are in the middle of a class action lawsuit here in British Columbia. And yeah, so I've upgraded from this guy. This one would probably be for my dog now. I feel kind of bad for my dog. But yeah, this will kind of be the backup. But hopefully they will replace it. They do replacing it. They are replacing some. They're replacing them extremely slowly. But yeah, we'll talk about more about that later. And then in terms of other stuff going on, there is some stuff going on around behind me. I did get a new snowboard that we can talk about. Still in the plastic. Was missing on the park board, so like happy I actually now have a park board because on days like today, speaking of the weather, we've had that crazy weather I was mentioning before, and we've had a lot of rain up top, a lot of wet snow. Everything's kind of cooled down, and so a lot of hard, nasty snow. The Alpine is not. I mean, if you're like feeling like you want to work your technique, go into the Alpine right now, and you'll be working the technique for sure. So it's kind of like hard groomers and park, and so I thought I'd get myself a good park board. And asymmetry was something that I've been looking for a board in a long time, and also been looking to buy a Yes board. This wasn't necessarily the board that I thought I'd be getting out of the Yes lineup, but very excited to try it out, and a super cool board. A lot of interesting stuff going on in there that I'm excited to try. So yeah, that'll be really cool. Yeah, I was going to shout out to some of these comments here before I get into the unboxing. I don't want to, let people miss the unboxing. I'm going to give them a few minutes to jump on here, but I will be getting to that soon, so don't worry. Old Man Shredder's on here. What's up, man? Good to have you. Old Man Shredder, dude, OG, kicking it in Sweden, and I've been following his skateboarding progress. It's been awesome, and hopefully you're doing good and you're getting some snowboarding in there. Crustacean Nation. Oh, that's a cool name, dude. Saying, how are your pants? My pants are good. Referring to the pants I just bought, presumably. I haven't actually taken them out today. Just to basically mention briefly, Sunday, it's a horrible day. My mom was actually visiting from the city, so I got to hang out with her. And there's a deep fog all day, and it's just been like kind of wet and cloudy. But I do plan to go up tomorrow with the new board and the new pants. So yeah, the pants, they zip. I got zipped in pants. The pants zip into the jacket. Dude, it's awesome. Like, I had a few times I got some snow down my crack this year, and wishing I was like, man, I don't want bibs, because bibs, you know, there's a whole thing with bibs, and so now I got the powder skirt zip on. That's awesome. Gabe's here, dude. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Gabe's asking, what's your favorite non-Jones powder board? I would say my favorite one I think I've ridden so far probably the Gentem Stick XY, which is very similar to the Transition Finder or like the Orca, kind of similar to that. Gentem Stick, Japanese brand. Super like the base on it is just insane. It has like such good float, and I got to ride it in Japan in Risutsu in some really deep powder, and just the float and just absolutely destroyed the day and made in a good way and made it awesome. And yeah, I think that might have been it. Okay, Chuck Van's getting in on it. Thanks, Chuck. Tupac saying, I'm a Viking. Man, I'm getting there. uh, Pat's asking, what's in the box? What's in the box? Show me the box. If you guys have seen Seven, that's a Sunday movie for you. Chuck Van's saying, yeah, Chris got a yes to the great. Stoked. Yeah, Chuck's got to ride with Chuck in Japan right in the 2020, and that's an awesome board. So yeah, dude, ASIM. It'll be the first twin that I've had in a new twin I've had in a while. I'm excited to get on twin and do some switch, and really excited to get in the park, and then take some of them park skills into them backcountry skills and swippity swappity, and yeah, just kind of get on the freestyle a little bit more. Really looking for that. Boredom Stew, hey man, really good to have you here. Kicking it from England. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, you guys are having a pretty tough time over there. It's an evening, Chris, gents. Evening to you. Hope you're doing well, man. Tupac, my eyes are sexy. Thanks, dude. Why don't I like bibs? Asked Caleb. I don't know. I think I find it constricting, maybe. I find somehow the elastic is just like a grip that just slowly tightens everything tighter and tighter until it all gets like crunched up, below. And I don't know, I find I have more freedom with the pants. And I have had bibs. Man, there's nothing against bibs. I think the cool thing is, same with snowboards, is like there's no right answer for what are bibs good, because everybody has a different perspective and different preferences. Yeah, exactly. Zach's on it. He says, bibs give me a wicked wedgie. All right, Crustacean Nation, a proper mountain man. Caleb saying, I like bibs, no snow down the back. I know, right? No belt. But check this out. I'll just grab them because they're here. My new Volcom setup. Like turned into a onesie. So it's all zipped in on the back. It's actually last year's, and this is this year's. And they have compatible powder skirt. They call it the Zip Tech technology. Stretchy. It's nice, smooth, no chafing. Great on the skin. Sweet. Yeah. Covering the thing. And what pants did you get, and how do you keep them up? Yeah, I use the belt. I like the belt, man. I've done the suspenders, rainbow suspenders, all of that jazz, but I like the belt. I like the arcade belts. They have a bit of a stretch to them. There's no metal involved. Yeah, they're super comfortable. Arcade. Check them out. Michael Hatcher's here, man. How you doing? He's saying, which backpack are you rocking this season? I have the Poacher. It's 22 liter. I really like the Poacher. Super low profile. Obviously, a lot of people have the Heli Pro. You have a lot of there's a ton of different types of Heli Pros, but I do find that sticks out a little bit more. And yeah, just the Poacher. It's very long. It's very tall. It's quite narrow. And it's not very deep, especially if you don't pack it. It's like super low profile. So I found that, especially for me, I love going through the trees. I found that going through the trees with that one, I've had the least amount of hang-ups on it. But there are a lot of straps, so secure your straps. You know, you don't want to be like the caped Superman in The Incredibles, where they always get like caught and stuff. Yeah, get those straps tucked in. And all right. Pastor saying he likes the Burton hip to waist gaiters. Hip to waist gaiters, nice. No snow getting down the back. My pants. That should be your thing. No snow getting down the back of my pants. Better recognize. Caleb's saying that's the way to go. Zip into each other. Yeah, man, it's really good. Okay, cool. All right, well, we got some people here. We got 21 people. One person just left. I'm sorry, you just missed out. We're going to be unboxing. Yeah, the DSP Pro. There's been an issue with this one. Just in case you don't know, I'll just cover it very briefly. There's an issue around some cracking on the locking mechanism here. So it would basically switch. You have three modes, right? You have off, you have send, and you have receive. When you're just using it normally, you're sending it. Everybody is sending it. And if something happens, the people that aren't in the terrible situation switch to receive so that they can get all of the people still sending that are, you know, under the snow and whatnot. So the problem with this one is that if you have it in send, there is an issue that during an impact to this, i.e. if you're in an avalanche, then it can get switched. But mine is not cracked. Mine is actually still in legit good condition. It's supposed to be some cracks in and around this bit here. So this one's actually still good, but their response to it has not been up to my liking. And I've sent them emails, I haven't heard anything back. I've just not been happy with how they've been dealing with it at all. So it's not really a surprise for me because I know what's in this, but it is a present for me. I kind of bought this for myself for Christmas. So let's see what's inside the box. The newest edition in the T series, the BCA T4. Much more welcome than the T4 in the Terminator series. Yeah. So this is the BCA Tracker 4. It's the new for this year. It's basically a bit of a, they kind of just took the BCA Tracker 3, which is seen as a really good all-round transceiver, and made it a little bit better, made the screen a bit bigger. They put a kind of non-slippy rubber. Well, screw it, let's actually just get in there and have a look. Checking out, got my box. Orange too. There's a lot of orange stuff coming in. All right. So, one transceiver, one manual, and 3 batteries, which is nice. I like it when people include the batteries. I do have a ginormous box of batteries. I came prepared with batteries. But that's nice they include them. That shows you they care, I think. Yeah, so have you guys, I don't know, if you guys know the Tracker 3, the Tracker 4? Have you tried them before? We've got this nice little sleeve. It's quite a thin, super thin nylon-y material. There's not much protection for the actual transceiver in there. Unlike the Peeps one, which actually, I'll just show it to you. Okay, this doesn't have too much more, but the main thing with this is that actually it cups on the back there, so that actually protects it from the side impact. This top bit's not actually much rougher, but there's quite a bit of rigidity in this bit here. So that kind of helps around the sides. But, meh. All right. I've not opened this yet. Okay, of course, a screwdriver. Man. Let me see if I can do it with the back of a micro SD. Is that gonna fit? Oh man, I have to have some money around here somewhere. Haha. Yeah, let me just see what everybody thinks. Yo, 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 yo. Hopefully everybody's being nice. What's up, L Stacker? Cannonball that like button, sure. Is that a liquid metal version of the T4? Yeah, dude. It has a kind of metal alloy body with some kind of cryo human interface on the inside. The smallest screw. Man, this is a lot of pressure to be under so early. Come on, Mr. Screw. Okay, it doesn't come out all the way. That's why. It was a trick. See, it sits in there. I was trying to get that screw out. That's good. One of you guys could have told me that before so I didn't just look like an idiot. That would have been nice. All right. So, yeah, they're using like, I don't know if they call it vulcanized rubber or if it even is vulcanized rubber, but I think the previous one, the BCA3, which is supposed to be one of the best ones, didn't have quite a non-slip, or had more of a slippy grip. So this is a grip here, less slippy. Okay. We have batteries. Oh no, I'm gonna have to, okay. We got a lock. Oh my. So, what did I just switch that to? I believe I switched that to send. We have like a little Wi-Fi kind of thing going on there. So this is why you wouldn't want to use it for the first time in the backcountry, because obviously I have no clue what I'm doing here. And then search. Is that search? Okay, I'm going to test because I got my Peeps one. This one does look like a kind of upgraded Terminator version of this one. Oh yeah. We have something. It's like I could do a little song here. This is cool. So, I don't see a direction. Not really. The display is very big. Excellent if you use one of those telephones with the giant numbers. This is the one that you want to get. And the noise, yeah, the noise is a bit weird, but sure. Oh, I did something. Okay, now I'm just pushing buttons. Cool. Don't you love it when you hear lots of beeping like that? Okay, and now we got the switch. So this one's searching for this one. I don't think I can get any closer than that. You want to get 0 or no? Yeah, so yeah, transceivers. Cool. I'm going to turn it off now. That is a bit of an annoying noise. Cool, so yeah, that's super exciting. They have the instructions in English, of course, a nice sticker. Ooh, oh yeah, no, the first is, I think the second is going to be, oh man, it's always French, but if it's German, I'll be happy. Just, oh, it is. Yeah, I don't know, things are always more technical when the second language they put it in as German. That's what I think. French third. Italian, Spanish, appendix. I feel sorry for anybody that doesn't speak those languages. If you have this. Tracker 4. So and the same manual for the Tracker 3, 4, and the S. So I believe that everything is more or less the same. It's just they made it a little bit better. They made the screen bigger. They made the multiple search when there's more than one person buried. That better, I believe. But still some more stuff I have to look up on it. But for sure, this rubber grip on there is fantastic. It's not going anywhere. Cool. And I might as well just go for it. I always find that these like setups are always not intuitive. Oh, I think I got it. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. It seems good. Wow, that's cool. So stretchy. And yeah, I'll get through here. Nice. Oh man. Tell you, you put on one of these and you feel kind of feel like a boss. Just like give it a piece of technology to a guy, you feel you immediately feel better, more manly. Okay, L Stacker, yeah, dude, thanks for coming on, man. He said, "Where's everybody hailing in from?" Of course, he's kicking it down in Boise, and well, near Boise, in Bogus Basin, doing some shred down there. All the best to you, Caleb in Calgary, in motion in London. Yeah, man. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully we can go shredding soon, man. Oh, man. Let's just hope we can all go riding soon together. Because riding together with friends is the best. And everybody knows that. CyperX, hey, man, I good to have you on here. Saying everyone should be aware of the controversy surrounding the Peeps transceivers. Yeah, it kind of bugs me that they're still, it doesn't kind of bug me. It bugs me they're still for sale. Yeah, these are, still buy these, but then if you can complain about them, they'll give you an upgrade. So figure that one out. I know a lot of people have been getting email. I've been keeping an eye on their social media because I don't really been getting too much from them myself, and I don't know, the only way that I've seen that there's the community to see the feedback is on their Instagram, but they haven't actually put out an Instagram post since early November, over 2 months ago. And as a backcountry, a company that makes backcountry transceivers, you would assume that you'd use your social media account into the winter, and theirs has been totally off, but I know that they are in a class action at the moment with through BC. So there's obviously some legal stuff going on with them as well. I tried to look to see an update on that like yesterday or the day before, and I did not see anything too recent on what is going on with that. But yeah, just once again, in case you guys are just jumping in late, the old Peeps DSP and the DSP Pro parent company. Well, their parent company is Black Diamond, and there's been some controversy going on because they have a locking mechanism to make sure that your transceiver doesn't move out from send into a different one, i.e. if you're caught in an avalanche, that it doesn't stop working the way that you want it to, which happened notably to a local skier here called Nick McNutt. When he was riding up in Pemberton, I believe their story, and obviously I'm just kind of going off memory, it was a professional shoot. They had professional guides with them. They did multiple checks of the gear before they went and apparently looked, to see if there was any damage on here. And he did this awesome line, got caught in some side slough from one of his lines. It's insane to see. And he got buried. His transceiver switched from send to receive, I believe. It didn't go from send to off. It went to receive. And so if you're searching for that person, they're not going to come up. So you just get blank. You might as well not have it on. Unfortunately, he was saved. He's been doing I think might be back out skiing now. But he's been doing a lot of rehab. He's definitely not back to his pro highlight. I mean, I don't know. I speak from my own injury recovery. But yeah, so I think what they believe happened was that during the fall, because he hits a few trees, and he actually gets buried next to a tree. They believe that it was this part, this little bit just around the lock sign. Damage was done to that during the avalanche, and then it switched. And I believe Peeps is saying that it was damaged beforehand, and they should have checked it to make sure, and it was most likely caused I don't know why, but I believe that is the different sides of the story. And Peeps has said that they've done lots of testing with it, and it's passed all of the tests in the laboratories. But if you do not feel safe with their product, then please contact them, because they do have it's kind of like with phones, right? You have like an upgrade system. So as they're releasing new models like every year, every other year. If you have an older model, depending on how long ago you bought it and how long the new model has been out, and they have a little system to figure out what the upgrade price is. Some people are having to pay for the upgrades to the new one, which is the BT, what is it called? The Peeps, is it just the Peeps BT? It's got a Bluetooth in it, which is cool and is supposed to be very, very good, like really good transceiver. And there's another one that they have as well, but I'm just not very, very happy with how they've been dealing with the whole situation. From my point of view, it just looks like an absolute nightmare from how they've been handling it from the start. Oh gosh, it's it's not been good, in my point of view. Yeah, so if you guys are in the back, there's so many people going into the backcountry. If you guys know people going into the backcountry, just say get anyone apart from this. I don't even care if you get their new one, but just don't get this one. It's still for sale at a lot of places. Like, you search for it, you search for it on Google, it comes up in all the Google, not in the Google stores, but in all the shopping bits. Don't get this one. Get the tracker, or get the Marmot, or the Varivox one. There's lots of good brands out there. Just have a look into it. So I hope I explained that for you, Boredom. I know you were asking a couple minutes ago. And there was somebody that a death in BC was, I believe it was in BC, is also being blamed on that from the victim's family, and I believe that is part of the class action that's going on at the moment. So, honestly, I can't really say what's going on with it, but I think the chances that it fails on you is very low, right? It's not really, you'd have to be super unlucky for it to happen. But, and the big but, is why should you have that as a risk that you're taking on in a piece of equipment, which is a critical life-saving piece of equipment. It doesn't really make sense. Obviously, you'd want to reduce the risks whenever possible, and however way it weighs up, it's still a risk. So even if it is that you have to check it, I think Peep says like check it before every run that you do, but maybe you forget to do that, and that happens. So I've used it not a huge amount of times. Obviously, I've never had to actually use it in a real situation, only in training practice. And I've found it's the interface is great, ease of use is great, but yeah, just the way they've handled it has not been great. And also, the previous model to this was the Vector. So you guys can look up, you can Google search Peeps Vector recall and get some more information on the Vector and that getting recalled. So there's kind of a history, in my opinion, of well, you had the Vector get recalled, and then there's just bad news surrounding this. Whether it's warranted or not. I guess we can let the courts decide on that. But that's not a risk that I want to take. Even though 2020, I've been taking a lot of risks I might not normally take because I've been slowly going insane over the course of the year. That isn't one I want to do. So snowboarding in the trees by myself, inbounds, on a 30-40 centimeter day, sure. But I want my transceiver to work. So yeah, I don't know, have any of you guys got this one? Are you guys getting into? Obviously, a lot of people don't have access to the mountains, but I do know, speaking to people in Ontario, like the Ontario resorts are closed, so people are, getting their snowshoes out and going out and doing that. And similar in Quebec, where available, and no doubt elsewhere in the world, backcountry. They think backcountry this year is going to be more popular than ever in history. In terms of the sale, at the end of last year, like everything was getting shut down, March kind of time. And so right around there, sales of skis, snowboards, goggles, helmets, everything, sales of backcountry gear, shooting up. So literally at least this one report that I read, it was a news article, speaking to a lady that tracks that type of stuff, and she was saying that like every single area in the industry was declining in sales apart from backcountry sales, which increased like maybe she said 500% or something. You have that new backcountry resort popping up, and I believe it's called. Is it called Powder Mountain? That seems like such an obvious name. In Colorado, it's a backcountry resort. So it's just, it started off, they've actually expanded it quite a bit, which is awesome, but it's basically a mountain. It's not necessarily what you would call like a very imposing, crazy mountain, but it's a very friendly mountain to backcountry. As in, it doesn't go to like some gnarly peak with loads of cliffs. It looks more like a giant hillock. I can't say, I've never been there, but they have this huge area where it's all managed. They do loads of classes. They have lots of training going on, and the whole thing is just designed around backcountry. You have areas like Whister where they are having more uphill designated routes, because as a rule, you're not allowed to go uphill at all unless you're on a designated uphill route. And they're also having those in Aspen, in the one that Travis Rice grew up in. Yeah, lots of different places are starting to introduce uphill. And also looking at people in France, I know that the resorts in France are not opening for a while. Okay, I'm not sure, but they were available to go hiking backcountry prior to that, so people have already been going up in their skis in the Alps, at least in France, and no doubt in other places, just trying to get up and get out in the mountains, because man, it's I'm more thankful for it every day. It's really it's pretty amazing to have the mountains. Don't have much else going on around here, but I mean, you don't really need it when you have that. So that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, Nars hitting with the hard truth, saying Corey Lynham died near Whistler 2017 due to faulty Peeps transceiver. I'll take your word on that one, man. I believe you. Adam Searles is here saying, hey everyone, what's up, Chris? Chuck Vance kicking in from Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle. Is that New South Wales? I can't remember. Was it Newcastle? I was watching, I think it was a Sydney program, and they were trying to find like the best like face only a mother could love, and I think they were in Newcastle. Probably wasn't. There's some town around there. I'm sorry, man. I'm sure it's lovely. But I hope you're doing well, Chuck. Blood Cruise Chronicles kicking in from Oregon City. Darren Page from Yorkshire. You guys are getting some snow out there, aren't you? Because I have a friend in Sheffield who posted some photos recently skiing up some of the hills up near Sheffield. And I know that, well, I did actually read that you had a super cold snap, but not necessarily all the snow that you guys were hoping for. So I hope you did get some snow. Man, just grab his old skateboard deck and throw that in the snow. That's what I used to do. I went to the university in Leeds, speaking of Yorkshire, and we had 2 days, I think, where we had a couple inches of snow, and my buddy was a skater, so yeah, we just had a little ride down the sides of the hills, and it was fun. Okay. Caleb saying, said the device that is supposed to save your life lets you down. It is, and it's still for sale. Which, yeah, man, it's in a gray zone at the moment. Yeah, you should go check out their Instagram page, Peeps, P-I-E-P-S. If only I could, if only I had a second phone. I'm gonna get my phone upgraded soon because this one's, I'm almost at my contract and I've also destroyed it. But just going on to read like the comments on it are it's funny and sad. But I mean, you have to see the funny side of it because otherwise it's just too sad. Yeah, there's lots of, there's not been any posts in 2 months, but lots of recent comments. People are still commenting on it. All right. Oh, and then I did also want to mention, I don't know if you guys know, or heard of the Salmon Arms. So these are a local company out of Vancouver. They're designed on Mount Seymour. So in terms of Vancouver, you have the North Shore Mountains. You have Cyprus, which is where a lot of the venues, especially the half pipe, was held for the Olympics here, where they did a kind of joint Vancouver Whistler. But you also have Grouse, Cyprus, and Seymour. So Salmon Arms, these are very cool. They have a ton of crazy designs. They do they like their different kind of colors and designs, especially go on the website or just search on the internet at the images, and there's a whole bunch of different ones. So it is cool that you kind of feel like you get your own style, own individual look. Yeah, I got them clipped together at the moment. It's nice. Good to have a clip on there. And they feel, I would say these are like a good medium warmth. They have a good soft fleece, very, very soft feeling fleece on the inside. And then they have like individual slots for all your fingers. So if, your fingers are separated, very soft material. And it feels it's really warm. It's actually, I run hot hands. So these would be good on cold days, for sure. And they got a salmon with his arms sticking out. I don't know if you guys ever see, I don't a lot of scuba diving, so I've seen a lot of fish, and there's, you see really beautiful fish and weird fish, especially like pufferfish are just super weird looking. But yeah, salmon have just got a weird face, I always thought. I mean, they kind of overdo it there a little bit. And the other thing I really like about these as well is that it's a good elastic band on here instead of just kind of a cruddy piece of rope. And it's detachable, which is fine. But yeah, locks it on. Cool. All right. So yeah, it's good to stay safe out there. Really happy with this. Oh, this is detachable. That's nice. Yow. All right, I'm just gonna read through a couple of these here. Panda will knock you out, bro. Lola J. Okay. Oh, Nar was saying he's riding solo in the trees at Big White and got yelled at for not wearing a mask. Man, you gotta wear them. You never know. There could be somebody in trouble next to you that you need to help. So always, even I go to the toilet with mine, and it also helps just to like smell too. So it's a good thing. Does Whister get a lot of avalanches inbounds? We do. It is very well managed. If I say they're thorough in terms of getting a. We do wish that sometimes they would open up quicker. Some of the Alpine, it does seem like they have done so in years past, but obviously safety being number one. And then you go into you go up into the bowls in the afternoon after a big snowfall, and you can just see avalanche debris just coming down into the bowls, especially the big one I saw recently up in Flute, which is like, it's still inbounds, but it was part of the mountain most recently incorporated within the inbounds. Used to be like the beginner backcountry place to go because it was just past the ski patrol lines, relatively safe area, as things go. And not very technical, not very long. And then it was incorporated within the ski patrol. So now it is managed, but you can do it. It's like a perfect kind of dry run. You can still put on all the equipment, do the tests. They still have backcountry transceiver checks when you go out, and then they have another one further at the top. And it's also your access point to all of, well, one part of the loop to do the Garibaldi loop, but basically if you're going out towards the musical bumps, there's a range of mountains that go past Flute, where you have Oboe, and then you have Cowboy Ridge, you have Fissile, and Mount Decker. You have some other ones around there, and it is possible to do. You can do a loop. This is super cool, but also a lot harder now because some of the huts aren't open. And it's also getting quite popular. I don't actually looked at this year, and it's not been very feasible at the moment because the snow is so crazy, but you can go out from Whistler and you do a big loop around over some mountains, skibbity boop, da bam boop, bam, and then you come back into Blackcomb and you got a big like horseshoe loop around there. Super cool. And something I would like to do. Chuck Van says, hi, it's probably me. Yeah, that's New South Wales, 2 hours north of Sydney, talking about Newcastle. Bring back the accent. What are you talking about, dude? Lola J saying, remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey the Bear. Gotta be safe. Nathan Forrest saying, what's a Chris, do you take song requests? Sure. Yep, throwing out, man. Darren Page saying, yes, Chris. I talked about snow up in Yorkshire, up in the north of England. It's always a fun day when England gets snow because nobody knows how to drive. Like, especially we go down to Vancouver, we feel like people in Vancouver don't know how to drive in the snow, but people in Vancouver think that people in England don't know how to drive in snow. It's all relative, I believe, but you get like an inch of snow, you get a couple centimeters of snow on the roads in England, and everything shuts down. But it's really cool because everybody gets all excited, goes out. It's such a rare thing. I think it's getting more. I feel like it used to get more, but yeah, people get more excited than when it snows here. Let's just say, because obviously it snows so much. I did not see Yorkshire Snowboarder. Oh, I'll go check him out. That's cool. Yeah, I've got a buddy called Doug Banks, and he's a really good skier. He spent many years out here, and he's living in Sheffield now. There was like a kind of viral clip of him last year riding down the roads in Sheffield, where it's like side-by-side filming, and he's riding down the sidewalks and like kind of hopping like on, riding past people, going up with their trolleys and cars and whatnot. It's really cool. Adam Russell saying, yo, do you like the sapphire blue Oakleys in all weather? I don't know those ones. What are the all weather ones that I have? They're definitely not are they the sapphire? Dude, I don't even know. I haven't actually looked at goggles in so long. I just know that I have the the high pink for my low light. But I've been rocking those same goggles for like 3 years. I'm tempted to get one of those toric lenses. Maybe it's just a thing. Yeah, I don't know. People, they always try to throw out new things, but they have a cylindrical lens and a spherical lens, and then the toric lens is all of the best things of the cylindrical and the spherical with none of the bad things. And it's just a blend of the two. I don't know, have you guys ever tried the toric lens? I know the M4 is toric. I'm not sure on any of the other ones. But it'd be cool if you guys have. Get some feedback. Rifle Life is here. Christine, well, on the bright side, I have to stick comment to watch. I'll have some sick content to watch from you during my summer. Oh, for Chuck. Yeah. So it's always good. Yeah, you gotta love it when it's summer here and all the Aussies and Kiwis are riding, because it's the pendulum swings both ways. It's just frustrating if you're like Kevin and you enjoy both of them, because that's not always possible for most people. But for you Australians, you enjoy it away. Rona lurks in the forest. Chris, you guys heading to Revelstoke anytime soon? Dude, we're under this. I've not left the Sea to Sky in a year. So yeah, honestly, it's making me a little bit crazy. So the Sea to Sky is basically the North Shore or Squamish to Pemberton, and I've basically been in Whistler the whole year since I got back from Japan. I've not left the Sea to Sky. I did that one road trip to Lillooet, which is a couple hours north. I was technically outside of it. That's about it. So, dude, I'm so keen to go traveling. Oh, dude, I'll tell you a couple of things I was interested in doing. The most ambitious would be getting one of those really big canvas tents with a stove, like a proper iron stove, like 100-pound stove, and then just a big marquee tent, and just go out somewhere into the backcountry. Just have an awesome warm tent you can go and chill in. Yeah, nobody wants to get cold at night, especially out in the backcountry. And yeah, just get out and do some of that. Because I don't know, is anybody else starting to feel like they're in Groundhog Day at all? Like you kind of get up, see the same people, do the same thing. You wake up the next day, it's got the same song on the radio. All right. Rockin' said, have I tried any Telos? Is it Telos? Talos? I don't know. I've not tried any, but I did look at what's their old mountain free ride? The Telos backslash? Is that it? Yeah, it looks like a sweet board, and I'm always keen for trying small boards. At the moment, if I was to go small board, smaller than Yes, which obviously isn't a small brand, I'd probably go for something local. I did want to get an Endeavor archetype, but I just couldn't. But I want to get a wired one too. Wired would be good. And then Prior as well. But yeah, Telos, check it out. Draglife saying, don't forget to smash that like button. Ba-bow! Smash it up. Yeah. Smash that up. It'd be cool. That's what it's there for. Nathan said, heck yeah, Grateful Dead, Scarlet, Begonias, Barton Hall. Was there a reference? I don't really know Grateful Dead that much. I do like one of their songs. Driving a train high on Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Are we doing, is that what we were talking before about doing musical requests? Now we're saying come to Big White. Yeah, man, I want to come to Big White. I do want to get a yurt. The yurt yurting, if you get a warm yurt, you're living the dream. I mean, I've seen people do it. I've also been watching, what is he called? He's called Rocky Mountain Survivor Man. He's got an awesome mullet. He wears that like camo kind of jacket from Walmart. He looks kind of like a dirtbag, but he's a legit survivor, dude. He's like, just goes in the woods and lives there for 30 days. So if he can do that, then maybe I can too. The did I get it? The backslash? That's something. That's what I said. Yeah, man. When did I get the Yes the Greats? I bought this yesterday from Comor, so it was. Give you a little bit of a breakdown. Snow here has been going a little bit crazy over the last few days, and we've been getting a lot of ice, especially forming in between the powder layers, and it's kind of turned into a mess on the mountain in terms of the backcountry is not very available, and the off-piste trees, it's all hard pack, nasty, just not looking great. So I need to get a park board. I really wanted to get a Yes board, not necessarily this board. It's actually the Yes 420 powder hull. Oh my gosh, look at that board for if you want to look at a good looking board. Yeah, I didn't necessarily want to get a Yes the Greats board. You know, it's not necessarily Yes as like I think of as a park board, but of course they do have the jackpot. I think that talking to Keon in Comor, Mr. Comor's son potentially, his favorite is the jackpot. And then you have the basic, which is kind of all around, but a really good intro level board, really good price point, and people do like that in the park as well. But I also really want to try out an ASIM board. I've never tried an ASIM. Always been interested in ASIMs ever since the Never Summer Prototype 2 coming out back in the day. And so it just kind of seemed right to line them up. So I might as well pull it out. I haven't actually showed anybody this yet. This look is still in its packaging. All right. So, wow, I'm so close. So you can see like the weird shape. This is an asymmetrical board. If you guys aren't aware, symmetrical board means that there's an asymmetry. The symmetry is not equal on the heel and toe. Let me move this thing back a little. Oh, too close. I think it's getting away with the glare as well. Right, so you have a different flex on the toe and heel side because due to our biodynamics, the way that we operate, we do not have an equal amount of a good, well, you don't have the same amount of joints working, and a finesse actually was the word I was looking for. Because when you're on your toes, you have your ankles doing a lot of work. You also have the toes doing a bit of work inside the boot. They do something. Whereas on your heels, it's basically just your knees and your hips doing a lot of the work. So the idea with the asymmetrical board, I'm sure this is just repeating a lot of stuff that you guys already know, but to make the heel and toe turns feel more similar. And yeah, I'm really excited to try it out. The Yes the Greats is it's definitely I know a lot of people like this board. I've been talking about this board. It's gone through some different colors. I know this year they have quite a few different colors out for it as well. And yeah, as part of the Unink lineup, they kind of they're still rocking that. DCP and JP Solberg and Romain Demarchi coming up from Britain to set up. Yes, part of the Unink group over there. And yeah, this is it's a mid-bite snowboard profile, so it's got a little kick in the mid-bite, which is supposed to help super fast from edge to edge. It kind of segments it, so instead of having that continuous edge, by having that little bit cut out there, then it's not only quicker, but also if you hit any undulations, if you hit something that might knock your edge out, instead of knocking out the whole edge, by keeping a little bit segmented, it helps to spread that out. So it's kind of in between, obviously everybody knows the Magnetraction, which is going for full-on just serrated edges, This is kind of going for more edges, kind of similar to the Salomon EQ Rad in a way. And Nitro's similar-ish with the power pods. I've never tried the mid-bite either. I've heard mixed things about the mid-bite, but I'm definitely willing to give it a go. And I think that this board is a little bit on the stiff side. This one is 156. I know that I think the weight is like, I'm right on the upper limit for the weight for this, but I usually am for boards. I kind of, I'm pretty good on boards. I like to have a smaller board so I can work around a little bit. But a little bit on the stiff side. I think it's about a 7 on stiffness. So I was thinking 2 sizing down is going to make it a little bit easier for me to work it, a little bit more pliable. And yeah, it should be great on jumps. It'll be interesting to see how it does on rails and jibbing features, and also just freestyling. Obviously, it's a true twin. I'm going to be riding it properly twin. Also, just probably going to be riding into the reference points to get used to it to start with. And yeah, excited to get out and ride more Switch. It's not very easy to ride Switch on the Jones Storm Chaser, I'll tell you that much. And it's not really much better to ride it on the Tranny Finder or a lot of the other boards. So yeah, super pumped. Have you guys tried the grades? Or have you guys tried the Jackpot? I'd be interested to hear more about the Jackpot. But yeah, it's we kind of reached one of those points where there's been a changing in the guard of weather, and there looks like there's going to be a few park days coming up for sure. And dude, people like park. I do want to get better at park. Park is something that I do enjoy, but it's just that the risks are higher and I'm getting older. Maybe you just have to double up on my butt impact pants and just go full kitted out like foam Bubble Boy style, top to bottom. But people like park, man, and it gets good views. Park gets views, bro. If you want to get the views, you gotta do the park. But I'm excited to get on it. I'm getting a little crazy, stir crazy. I just read back to Chuck Van's comment. Lola J singing Jolene, go with it, girl. D-Rick just bought the TLS Backslash secondhand, but have to wait a year to try it on the mountain. Yeah, that was on my short list. I was putting out loads of shout outs for boards when I was getting the Tranny Finder, and I did call me impatient, but also yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to get a small U.S. company. I was really keen on getting a Canadian company, but I don't know. I ended up with with the Karua for some reason. Not sure why. Yeah, Prior, man. I do want to shred some Priors. Prior would be. There's no. I think I mentioned before that there's no demos, but there's no demos, I believe, from the manufacturers. So, for instance, I believe that you can still demo boards at Comor, and they do have some Orcas and other great things. Evan was riding the Nitro Slash, which I believe he got from there also, but you can't get them from the reps or the manufacturers or from the actual companies. So I could try reaching out to Prior, and maybe I'll be able to get some from them, but I'd love to get on some more Priors for sure. Yeah, Priors are local, just down in, I don't know where they do all their manufacturing, because a lot of, for instance, I know with Wired that they do certain boards they manufacture in the store, especially all the custom boards, but then they're more price pointed boards manufactured abroad. So I don't know if Prior does the same with that. Gregory heard that the Powder Hall 420 wasn't great. No, don't say that. That's fine. Just trash my dreams. And Escaz got a Pro last year. Yeah, that was like one of the original asymmetrical boards. And Never Summer, I was very close to getting the Never Summer Swift as my. It's leaning a little bit. It's kind of in between these two, I guess, because it's very pointy. You also have a swallowtail, but the swallowtail is like a tail, so there's a curve in the swallows. You can still some switchability, more switchability than this. Is kind of wedged. It's a bit wedged in there at the moment, but that's a pure flat swallowtail. There's this, I managed to write a little bit of a switch the other day, but you really just lean like way on the nose, just like insanely over, just to make sure that the tail doesn't dig in and flip you. But one good thing both Andreas and I found out about the the swallowtails when we were crossing streams was that once you dig the once you dig the swallowtail in, it's great. You're there, you're stationary. So if you're taking a video, if you're relieving yourself, then you just dig that little. You just lean back, you just get that wedged in, and you ain't going nowhere. Which has its good things. Unwrap it, dude. I unwrapped it, bro. Yeah. I could unwrap it again. Hold on. Check it out, guys. The BCA Tracker 4. It's I don't know. Who knows ratings? But it was consistently at the top of a lot of lists for best transceiver. Very easy to use. They basically took a very good transceiver in the BCA Tracker 3 and made it better, which there's nothing wrong with that, especially if the thing that they're fixing isn't super dangerous in the first place. Gregory saying full Michelin man. Gregory, did I sell my T-Rice? No, I do want to keep it. It is not only it's been a great board all around, and I can definitely see some use in it, but it might end up being kind of like, Andreas' rock board is his Jones Mind Expander, which to most people, they would think like, wow, the Mind Expander is an amazing board. But things are relative, and I guess it depends on how much life you get out of the board, and especially when you know how to ride it so well, which I feel like I did with the T-Rise, then I'm not gonna, I don't want to destroy it, of course, but in conditions, scenarios where, it might be a little bit more damage to the board, having that as an option, or not going out to damage it, but I just had that instead of having to take out one of my really nice ones. Oh, Chuck Van saying he's got the typo. Nice. Dude, you love your yes boards. I like it. He hasn't written the Greats or Jackpot, but I've heard very good things about both. Heaps Park vids have Heaps of Park kids have the Jackpot. Dude. I should have got the Jackpot. Dang it. I really wanted the ASIM. They didn't actually have the Jackpot in the store in Whistler and Comor, but they had it in the city. So, how many boards have you got now? So, this one isn't my board. That is Kevin's board. So, I got my split board. I got this. I bought 3 new boards this year. So, I bought my split board. I just bought this yesterday. And I bought the Training Finder a couple weeks back. And this one is 4 years old, like 4 seasons ago. It's the 4th season of this one, I believe. And then the Travis Rice is a year newer, older. I've got a lot of good years out of those boards. The Storm Chaser is in such incredible shape. I'm loving that one, and I should I'm kind of getting to the point now where I should start selling them. But yeah, I would say, including some old ones, there's one which I screwed bolted skateboard decks through it, so it's not usable as a snowboard generally because it has 16 holes in it. 16? It has 8. But it's still good for certain things. So I think I have the Sapient, the T-Rice 3, 5, 6, and then an old park board 8. but I have a few other ones in there I kind of need to get rid of. Michael K saying the trail into peak to peak. Do you just follow it down until you get to the path and head back to the village? I only come to Whistler once a year. I'm getting okay exploring off trail. The problem with that trail, usually when I'm exploring off trails, I like trails where you're exploring like parallel to a trail. So you have a graded run or a run and you're exploring one of the sides next to it. And then if you have a problem, you can go back, right? Or you can explore a little bit and then each time you can explore a bit more. And you can, that way you're not, it's all about commitment. Because once you're committed to something and you can't turn back, that's it. And the problem with the peak to peak one is that there's nothing else down there apart from that run. And off the sides, it's harder. The run itself, when it's good conditions, is great. And you just follow it down. It's pretty self-explanatory. Towards the end, there's just before the cat track, there's little off-camber, technical, rocky sections, which can be easy or difficult depending on the coverage. But yeah, I would just say find someone to go with. I obviously, you know better than me, and I wouldn't want to stop anyone exploring too much. But yeah, just be smart, and it's not really too hard. 1 second, my dog walker just got here. Hello? Hey, I'm just doing a live chat. Awesome. All right, and dog is walked. What is my favorite snowboard? That's a hard one, man. There's too many. There's too many snowboards. What is my favorite? My favorite snowboard at the moment is the tranny finder. I just like that type of directional with kind of S camber, where you have camber with the feet leading towards a nice rocker. You have insane float on those. You can still use them switch to get out of situations, but just that pivotability, that turnability in the tat trees, really good float and still good in drops, jumps, and in the big open alpine. That's kind of where I would lean to, even over the swallowtail. It is also, I must mention, highly dictated by the geography of the terrain that we have here in Whistler. Especially been illustrated to like the maximum the last couple weeks, just because we've had the storms coming through and the snow level has been, the freezing level has been all over the place. But generally speaking, the upper mountain has been closed because there's too much snow and it's heavy and the avalanche risk is too high because of that fluctuating snow level. The freezing level, a lot of heavy snow, a lot of bombs going off all the time. And then down low, there is just rain and it's not so great. So in terms of kind of limited. Hi, girl. Hi, Poochie. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just kind of limited by my terrain. And at the moment, it's a lot of trees. And I would love to get the Drone Storm Chaser out into some open bowls, and I've been dying to. I just keep bringing it up, and the conditions are horrible. So, well, they're not horrible, but they're just horrible for that snowboard. Yeah, I'm chilling with Dot. I hope to get her into a lot more videos soon, too. She's been doing sweet. What's up, girl? How's it going? But again, with that snow level, the snow level's been all over the place. It's at the moment, it's so icy down here at the snow, or like around the house, that I can't really go like riding like up around. I would, just walk to the end of the street, put on my stuff, and then go and do a little tour from there and take Dot along with me. But it's just not very good conditions. It won't be good for her feet. So, yeah. Good girl. Yeah, but she's sweet. She is good. Okay. Yeah. BCA Tracker 3, just bring it home. Tracker 4, the best. T4, the best T4 out there. Take that, Arnold. Wait, T4 was technically Christian Bale? I don't know. Garrett saying, got any trips to the U.S. this season? Borders still closed. Yeah, it's still weird. Like, man, it is, the BC vaccine rollout is so speedy. They hope to be finished in, who knows? I think we haven't had many. Just go look at the news about BC, about Canada, and vaccine rollouts. It's not speedy, and travel restrictions recommendations still in place. They're actually looking at the feasibility of doing interprovincial restrictions in travel to stop all those Albertans coming over and enjoying our snow. How dare you? So I have no idea what's going to happen in terms of that stuff. In terms of traveling, I'm not actually thinking I'm going to be doing any traveling this year. I hope to do some traveling. As you guys might have heard before, I'm kind of going a little bit stir crazy just in Whistler, which is a fantastic place to be trapped for a year. But I'm keen to get out and try some new places. And yeah, maybe we'll just end up doing that at some point. I mean, it is work. But yeah, I mean, you know what's going on. The Storm Chaser does never get old. We love the Storm Chaser. Hey Chris, you do YouTube full time? I'm doing YouTube full time this winter. Kind of like, yeah. I'm just seeing how it's going. It seems to be going good so far. I'm kind of on the cusp of it being financially viable. So hopefully I can keep the channel growing, keep putting up some new videos. I need to get some park videos up and some beginner videos. How to strap on your snowboard. How to do up your pants properly. All that type of stuff. Yeah, it would be amazing to be able to do that. And at the moment, just kind of like riding the dream and seeing what happens. It's very surreal. Which external battery do I use? I don't know. Here I have it. Well, I have a couple. I have one that only has the micro USB, so that doesn't work on my USB-C ones. But I have what is this? A Jackery? This is my big boy. How much is this? This one is 20,100 milliamp hours, and you got two USB and a USB-C. It is a little bit old, this one. I know they do better ones nowadays, but it's super high capacity. I don't actually take this one on the mountain because it's too big. It's too heavy. Okay, I take it up rarely, but I just make sure that I have everything charged, and that way I'm really trying to slim down everything that's in my backpack because I do take it everywhere. I don't want to be just lugging around a ton of stuff, so it really is, especially on a powder day, I'll have a whistle in there, and then I'll have my GoPro, maybe my GoPro Max, head strap, the pole, batteries for both, maybe some water, and not too much else. Yeah, I finally started throwing batteries and this and that, and trying to bring up your drone if you're maybe not going to use it, and you get too much stuff in your bag. It gets too much. What size do I ride? So this is a 160. This is a 156. I don't know. This is a 158, and this is a 157. But I mean, this is both of these are kind of volume reduced, like super floaters. This is a wide board, the Solution, and this one's pretty wide too. So I'm kind of moving towards, I used to ride like 164s, 162s, 163s, maybe 165. I'm kind of moving down and getting a little wider with the board. Brooke saying Doggo is man's best friend. That is awesome. But she is absolutely pooched. She did a 10K hike today and then another multi, and she's been getting out. We've been trying to get her to lose a bit of weight because she put on a little roll during COVID. Steve's PLS1 saying, I snowboard near Sunshine, Alberta. Do you think this season would be a good time to come out to Whister, do some resort riding, split boarding, when spiritual restrictions are done? I just keep an eye on the snowpack. The snowpack's always changing, of course, but at the moment we have an extremely unstable snowpack. We've had a ton of rain coming in at super high elevations, just messing everything up. A lot of deep surface hoar. Yeah, like we at the moment, I think we're getting slides between 1 and 2 meters, and the snow is like so heavy. So it's gonna stabilize, of course. I mean, you'd hope so, but at the moment, it's not a good time to come. No doubt it will be, but we did have 2 snow bikers get caught in an avalanche and died a couple weeks ago, and a few other avalanches have been triggered. A guy was pulled out if you guys know a local pro called Mikey's, what is he? Is it Cicerelli? I'm having a brain fart. Local Whistler pro. I think it's Mikey Cicerelli. He dug this dude out in Rainbow. Rainbow is behind my house. So literally, I mean, it's a mountain, so it's not literally behind my house because mountains are big. But on the other side of it, where these guys were with their snowmobiles, there was a skier. People go skiing there too. Skier coming down got caught, and these dudes zoomed over and pulled him out. I think it's Mikey's sister. If anybody knows, throw it in there. What was the last job I had? The last job. I've had some kind of jobs around, but I taught scuba diving for 7 years, mostly in Thailand, but in Australia and Honduras, Egypt as well. That was like my other, and then before that I was a snowboard instructor for 5 years. Is where I got to know Kevin. Kevin and I used to teach kids together. We were teaching, I actually, when I first came in, I was teaching in the schools program, so they have, schools come up, and then you get a group of kids. They don't really want to learn, they just want to have fun, so you kind of just taking them out and having fun and maybe showing them some tricks and giving us some tips along the way. Very fun, a little bit hectic. And then moved towards teaching, they call it destination, but it's like family, like kids that come here on holiday. So they don't know each other. So they're more willing to learn, they're less raucous. And then teaching like teenagers, 13 to 19, it was a great age where they can take in the instruction a lot better. They also can get up after falling a lot better than the younger kids, but they're not as analytical as the older kids, and by older kids I mean adults, where it's about they want to have fun and learn, but I find a lot of times adults want to learn and then sure have fun, but like they need to make sure they learn it, whereas the kids like just go out and have a ton of fun and they learn everything along the way. So yeah, that was kind of mostly what I was doing. Best GoPro settings for cloudy powder days. Not what I was doing. Yeah, don't use the ProTune. The ProTune, especially in low light conditions where you have the color palette switching up, it sends it haywire. What Kelvin would you want it at? I guess it would depend on the time of day. You'd have to figure. It really depends on. It would depend on like the type of area that you're riding in terms of like we ride a lot of trees, so is it the spacing of the trees, how much light you're getting in there, if what the aspect of the slope is, because that's going to change how much direct sunlight that you get as well. So I think you really just have to get out there and try. But I am more of a high resolution, lower frame rate. I know some people like to do lower resolution with a high frame rate, so then you can play around with your slow-mo clips a little bit more. And I mean, you probably won't want to pop up the exposure, but I think it's best just to get out and have a play around. And a really cool thing that you guys should definitely check out is the Gopro Labs. Now, where's my GoPro? Is it there? Oh, let me just grab it. Howdy. So GoPro Labs is GoPro's like programmable, customizable QR system that they have. You download a program that you install into your GoPro, and then you can use it as a QR reader, which you can use to do a ton of different features. And one of them that you can use that for is to do completely customizable recording settings. So for instance, you want to do like 2000 Kelvin, 4K, 24 frames a second with the EV at plus 0.3 and blah, 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 blah. You can set all of that in and get a QR code for that, and then you can also have it for different ones. So if you're within a couple different settings, where, you know, maybe it's this or maybe it's this, where you're generally not going outside of those, then just have those QRs set up, and then you're just sweet. So I mean, it's not amazing, but one of the QRs, you can do a customizable message. So mine says, subscribe to Andreas's channel. Hoo-hoo. So I mean, you can put your phone number in there, call this. They just released the updates, I think, for the GoPro 9, where you can do motion detection setting and also use the, what do they call it, the velocimeter, which would be very cool. So in terms of that, it reads when there's movement in the GoPro, and it'll start filming, and then it'll stop filming when it stops moving. So for instance, I thought this would be cool for myself. You'd set it up at the top of the run, right? And you start going off, it's filming, it's filming, it's filming. You stop to have a break, stick it in the snow, stops filming. You start to go again after you had your break, you pick it up, starts recording, you stop, stops recording. So that is sweet. You wouldn't get a lot of the chatting, but you would get all the action. So there's some cool features to that, but people seem not really interested in the GoPro Labs at all. I think it's really cool, but no one else does at all. 0 people. If you know someone out there that is interested in GoPro Labs, that would be interesting, because I don't know a single person. D-Rick saying, I thought that the short wide bows are volume shifted. Did I say volume shifted? I meant volume reduced. I mean shifted, not reduced. The volume is the same, more or less. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some... You're not going to have the same amount of volume is going to ride the same, because you can imagine if you're trying to ride one of these boards sideways, like you're doing a Ryan Napton in powder, it's not going, you know, it's going to be different. But yeah, I meant the volume shifted. Shift the volume. Shift the volume. Shift the volume. I think Steve's PLS saw that dude getting rescued from the Avalanche. Yeah, Mikey Cicerelli, yeah. Dude, that's freaking scary. Or look at Nick McNutt's T-Tone Gravity Research, which is one of the companies that does a lot of the big productions for snowboard videos. They did a little kind of featurette on Nick McNutt and his Avalanche. And let me see if I can do... So he kind of like came down off these little pillow lines. Pew, pew, pew. And it was like pillow rock cliffs. And then as he was coming down, the slough came down around the bend. And then when he came to land his last bit, the slough smacked him from the side, and he just got swept right into a tree, and then other trees, and then they showed the whole rescue with that as well. So that's intense. Brooke Pearson saying a local Utah local almost got the Lanch. Dang. Yeah, guys, be safe out there. I mean, it's almost, you can almost say like, oh, it happens every year, but most of these are avoidable. And I think it's a lot of it is a case where, yeah, the people just get comfortable. I mean, I've been in this similar situation. So you get comfortable doing the same thing over and over, or you know, you feel like you're really in your comfort zone. And at least on reading story, you know, there's lots of articles and stuff about these, and just reading the reports from people is very interesting. I used to do the same thing. Maybe I'm a little morbid because I used to do the same thing with scuba diving as well. Read about all these scuba diving incidents and try to learn from them. Nick's vlog saying, what's the Wi-Fi like up there? Yeah, dude, I'm gonna do a vlog live thing. I kind of like the internet kept cutting me out the other day, and I used up all my my data, and I ended up like boosting it. So I've got boosted data now. So I've got extra gigs that I can burn, which I should do on the mountain. Yeah, D-Rick saying about Andreas's vocabulary is transformative in its expanse across the vocabulary. Because I don't know, I presume some of the words he says are words, but some of them are not words. Dryfly saying, when's the next road trip? Yeah, we don't know with the road trip. I mean, people are traveling. The doctor in Whister was complaining to the regional health ministers that like all the, which was it over Christmas? Like all the patients that were in the local, it's a clinic, but it's our hospital. It's technically it's a clinic, but it's big. It's a big clinic, but everybody was from Quebec and Alberta, and they're not technically supposed to be here. Some Americans and whatnot, but the BC apparently, I'm sure they were, but you know, us BC guys, we just weren't getting injured. We were getting the good lines, stomping them, going out for a beer and some food, and people were coming from out of town, not getting their mountain legs ready, and then getting a knee to the lip or something. Ethan Fairstein from Ontario was at Whistler for Christmas. Should I move to BC? I would. I know lots of people that have. I know lots of people that have moved to Whistler and then moved down to Vancouver. And I also know people that moved to Whistler, moved back to Ontario. Like, what do you want to do, man? You just gotta figure it out. I feel like, and like now, I kind of the way I'm leaning on is partially to do with all the new snowboards, where I made a decision, and then I kind of stuck with it in terms of financial. Let's just say that was around a kind of financial commitment. No, maybe not commitment, but also I knew I wouldn't be traveling so much, so I could buy a new snowboard. Yes, the Greats. There it is. It's beautiful. Check it out. It's good. And Nemesbury saying, I'm planning on moving to Whistler from Maui. Sick, dude. Yeah, it's not much sun. Get one of those blue lights. You know, that gives you the good vitamin D, because that's a real thing, you know. People, especially when that real cruddy, when it just rains for like 14 days straight, but it's like 2 degrees. You don't mind it raining if it's 10 or even 7. I mean, 15 in rain, you're loving it. 20, take that. 25 in rain, now we're getting tropical. Let's not get that far. But it does get miserable at times, which is kind of the nature. I mean, what do they say about Seattle and depression? We're north of Seattle, so. Do you know that Kyler guy? That was the guy that fell up in Westball. Is that what you're talking about? A guy fell and fell off. He's inbounds. It was on a traverse. You come off of Peak Chair, and there's lots of different places that you can go. It's access to all of the steepest runs. I mean, yeah, you're at the top of the mountain. So he was traversing from, I believe, like along there's a little high traverse but he was traversing towards West Bowl, I believe, and he fell 60 feet and died. That was a couple weeks ago. And that was just on a real stormy day. That was like zero, real bad visibility. Yeah, and it's just not a good place to be in terrible viz. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but for me, I'm always like, especially now, and I would say even not even from a safety point of view, but to film, because you can see so much more in the trees. If you're up in that alpine in the low vis, when I showed it to you guys, it's just like white. You're like, oh, cool. Where you get in the trees, you get some definition. You can actually see what's going on. So, yeah, it's a tragedy, for sure. And he's saying, yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, and he's like 22, a really young guy. Worked at one of the bars around here. Okay, sweet. All right, well, oh man, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm excited to get out this snowboard. Oh, I need to do some more stretching, that one. Because it's kind of park days for the next couple days. Obviously, came on here to show the new Transceiver. If you guys didn't see it already, it is the BCA Tracker 4, the T4, the newest in the Terminator series. Hoping for a real comeback with this one. It does actually have a kind of Terminator-esque. Oh, let me turn on. Don't get this one. This one is in a lawsuit. This one is not. Get this one. Oh, I got them on the wrong ones. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's a good noise. Oh, yeah. I like that. That's like, sounds like Terminator kind of noise. That one is like, your food's overheating. Oh, yeah. Look how big the screen is. As I said before, it's great if you have one of those phones where the buttons are the size of your fist, so you can see them. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get that out. But the snowpack at the moment, I've not actually checked it recently, but it was considerable. Basically in the alpine, above the tree line, below the tree line, and then we had rain and snow and wet snow. And I don't know if you guys saw in the video where it was so wet, I bought the new gear and I've got pants and these gloves, which are awesome, the salmon arms. But when you're riding back from the cat track along it's called Sunset Boulevard, it's just cat track road coming back where you have slopes coming down. And all on the slopes, the snow was so heavy, it was just like, not even due to people riding by or anything like that, but it was just falling off in chunks and those chunks rolling down. So just a lot of natural like slough, and yeah, snow just looks super unstable. It's so heavy, and I don't think I'll be doing a lot of backcountry for a while. I want to really bad, but it just doesn't look safe at all out there. Elstec is throwing in some potatoes. Thanks, dude. That's awesome. Pastor saying congrats on the new board and Transceiver. Yeah, dude, keeping it fresh, man. You gotta, don't know if I'll be getting any new boards in the next year, so might as well get them now. Just get all the boards now. That's what I figured. Nameless Person, do you have any tips for finding housing out there, and also job-wise, getting a job at the resort, usually the best option, or another job not connected with the resort? A little bit different this year. If you're getting a job at the resort, you don't have to deal with the reservation system, which is nice, but you do have blackout days, which you've missed a few already, obviously, with Christmas and New Year's going. But you probably have a couple coming up. Nice chunk of kind of like, free stuff to get a pass, because passes are expensive. If you get a job outside, normally they'll have a Spirit program, which is a program they have with the mountain to have a reduced price, and also you normally pay that off in installments over the course of however long, maybe three or 6 months or whatever they do. So it's not just a huge chunk of change out of your purse. But I'm sure if you want it, you can pay it up front. But that's also reduced as well. Um, in terms of finding somewhere to live, it is kind of tough because the way that I would break it down is that the people that have the really nice places are obviously very protective on who they put in there, and often the people that get in there know someone or know someone that knows someone to get in there. And then you have a lot of other places where it's just kind of like a bit of a free for all, like 16-person house or something like that. And then you have all the places in between, and like so many things, you kind of have to be here to get that sorted out. And I know when I came here, I worked for the mountains, so I was kind of sorted. I know Kevin, when he came here, he got a job. He got a short-term rental for a month or two, and then he went to go find his proper place to live. And it does depend on what time of the year you come as well, because you're not gonna find as many people, as many places like now. You definitely can. I mean, there's a place next to me is for rent, but it's that one's not too cheap. But yeah, there's definitely, but people have. There's some weird landlords around here. I think like people, just the nature of the ski town is like, a landlord in a ski town long enough, you get burned at least once, and so people just like to cover their bases and be safe. And I mean, I totally understand, but they want to come and meet you and find out what's going on, because there's there's some party animals that come through town and get out of hand, and nobody wants that in their new place with their lovely, what kind of carpets do people have nowadays? I don't know. A nice carpet. Have I ever been to Mont Tremblant? I have not. I skied in Ontario in a few places, in Craigleith and Blue Mountain, and I have been to Quebec, but I have not been skiing there. We actually were, was it at Tremblant? We were at, darn it, my cousin's wedding. I just can't remember the location of the wedding, but it was about 45 minutes north east of Montreal. You go over the river, and then you kind of follow it up. Is it the river? You go over the St. Lawrence, and then you follow it up a little bit, and then there was signs for resort around there, but looks beautiful. Looks cold as heck. All right, D-Rig's out of here, man. Good to have you. Yeah, I'll answer this one by Yoshi Snowboarder, but I mostly just wanted to again get out the word. Don't get the peeps, and don't tell people not to get this one. It is, in my opinion, dangerous, and it's not really worth. I mean, it's not. It's like, how big is the risk? I just don't think it's worth the risk being there and having to deal with it. Where is this one? Orange is the new black. The rest of it's black, but yeah, this one's supposed to be really legit, and you don't really want to mess around. And I know lots of people, anecdotally through the internet, so you know it's real, that say they won't go out with people that have these. So this is actually gonna be for my dog, or for backup, for training. Also good. Just go throw it in somewhere and do some searches. But yeah, I'd be happier if people I was riding with didn't have it. Are there any more boards I want to get? I think I'm happy. I think I'm happy now. All right, you need to know when to draw the line. The things that the board I really wanted to get this year was the split board, because there's so much uncertainty going on at the moment. The resorts in Ontario have been closed. And yeah, if you're in England, you can't even drive up to Scotland to go snowboarding. And you can go splitboarding in France, but the resorts aren't open. So, I mean, it's it opens up so much getting the splitboard. So that was the number one. And then I did actually want to get a park board, but it was more along the timeline. But I feel like now, for what I want to ride, I have all my bases covered, and I actually feel like the short change one, just due purely to the snow conditions here, is going to be this Jones Storm Chaser. I rode this one more than any board in Japan, and it was awesome. And it's so good float and deep powder, but the terrain that we get here and the snow conditions has just not been good for that board at all. This needs mellow terrain, soft snow, cruisy. You know, you can think like a cruisy vibe cruise on a shortboard surfboard. And what you get is like technical, tight, heavy snow where you want it to go right switch, which you can't with this. And yeah, get me to Japan in that Japow Pow. All right, all right, all right. Does Whistler have a police force? Of course, dude. They're pretty chill. Some potatoes for the stacker, throwing it back out. Paul Gerard, he's saying, haha, the odds of seeing this live chat. I've been contemplating a road trip to the valley. Currently living in the base of Calabogie. Where's Calabogie? Calabogie. That sounds cool. And still Ontario is locked down until January 23rd. The next largest mountain east of Whistler is 2.5 hours away. East of Whistler? Mount St. Anne? Yeah. It's who knows what's gonna go on. I tell you what, top of my road is a trail that goes up a mountain. No one's stopping me from going up that trail, no matter what. So that's like my fallback. As every society collapses, I'll still be able to walk to the top of my road and go splitboarding. Hopefully, I mean, eventually the cement's gonna crack. All right. Skunk Ape 161 Absolute Quiver Killer. Yeah, I was looking at the Skunk Ape and the Stump Ape. The Stump Ape, I remember trying to pull it out of the sheath that they give you, the little plastic sheath to protect the board. It wouldn't even it probably got switched in the store, but it wouldn't even fit in. You're like King Arthur just trying to like jerk the snowboard out of this insanely tight plastic sheath. But yeah, I would like to try, but I kind of moved away from, I wanted to move away and have a more traditional feel of a board. Nothing again, I rode the Travis Rice a ton and I still love that board, but I feel like the Libtechs are trying to maximize with all the technology, and I kind of wanted to like step back, cancel the Facebook account, go back to a pure camber instead of a C2 BTX. Peter Son is saying, hey Chris, good to see your riding. It looks like your knee is better. Yeah, it's I need to do a video on a knee update. Lots of people hurt their knees, and my knee's feeling awesome, and I didn't even put any stem cells or anything in there. It's crazy. It says, I'm here in Australia. It looks like mid-20s to 30s every day at the moment. So the weather's doing good. And looking at two boards for the Aussie winter, the Rome Ravine or the Ride Warpig. Yeah. The Rome Ravine was one of the ones that was on my list too for instead of the Tranny Finder. And that looks like a really good board. I just don't, there's not a lot of people that ride Rome around here. I don't really understand why. I don't know, maybe that was the reason that I didn't. But when I was asking out for people for some feedback on boards, the Rome Ravine came up a few times, and like people really like that board. But also the same with the Ride Warpig, and of course the Warpig had a ton of hype when it came out, and it's not quite the hype machine that it used to be. But I was also watching something from TJ, the man of all the boards, whose feet have felt the vibrations of every board ever made. And I know he says he's covered the Ride Warpig, but he doesn't want to say anything more about it. I don't know what to take from that, but yeah, I'd say check out his videos on that. I haven't tried either of them, so I can't say. Paul Gerard saying I look at split boards too, but can't seem to find them complete. A local guy over here has a Never Summer Chairman, 164 wide, and I'm liking that. But yeah, still with the uncertainty, I want to invest in a split board, which who knows, complete hope. And yeah, the Jones boards do look good on the wall. Hey, yeah, oh man, this just looks so good. That also, I mean, I think that this the cruiser shapes would look great if it was elevated a little bit. And it actually has a little like poem written here. If you guys haven't heard this before, I'll read it for you. Happiness lies in the process of finding your matching shape. In this process, there is no right or wrong, nor a goal, since every character has different forms and every form has different characters. May you never find your perfect shape. So just pop that up on the wall somewhere. I feel like that's a lot of the new builds you see around here, these kind of postmodern builds with a lot of straight lines and a lot of glass and a lot of like hidden construction light. I feel like that would go well in a very postmodern architectural setting, whereas the Jones probably more in a traditional log cabin style vibe. Paul is digging. Yeah, man, I think you should go for it. The solution is expensive, of course. I wouldn't necessarily. Oh, have you seen they doing an Orca split now too? Speaking of exciting board news, I decided to wait till 1 hour and 46 minutes to let you guys know this, but this is big news. Not just the Orca split, which is super cool, but also the Mind Expander Twin from Jones. And what is the other one called, if someone can throw it out there? It's like the Lone Wolf. I think it's called the Storm Wolf. It's like a Storm Chaser Lone Wolf mix. I didn't actually see the tail on it because it was cut off in the graphic I saw, but it has a kind of Storm Chaser Lone Wolf, maybe a bit, the Lone Wolf is more extended, pointy, but similar shape than this. But that is cool. But the Mind Expander Twin, someone tell Andreas. That's gonna get him real excited. The board is the stone. It is the stone. Nice. Paul's getting some snow. Now saying he's finding the C2 a bit loose under. I'm in the trees. I'd probably be dead without it. Yes. So I don't actually have one here, but C2 over C3, and you can get like C2X and stuff like that. But the C2 is rocker dominant, and then C3 is camber dominant. So with the rocker dominant, where you have a kind of rocking horse, you have a pivotability on the middle of the board, and I do love that. However, with the tranny finder, which is what do they call it, S-camber, S-rocker, but it has camber basically up to the front insert point, and then the whole nose is this big elongated rocker with the giant nose and the pintail. I don't know, man. I get really good pivotability on this board. But can you imagine a twin, Mind Expander Twin? Oh my Lanta! Okay. Sweet, guys. I think I'm gonna call it there. I don't know what's up with Andreas and his flappy jacket. That guy, he's been, he's been, what do you call it? Like working that look for so long. And he's saying now he goes out riding and there's so many people that recognize him. There's the yellow and the blue and the flaps. And he's turned that look has turned him into a bit of a local celebrity. So I don't think you're gonna get him to stop. I don't think it's gonna happen. All right. Sorry, Paul. I'm gonna go get some food. He said as a Never Summer chairman change. I don't actually know. I know very little about Never Summer. There's not really. There's one store in Whistler I think that carries the Never Summer. Okay, maybe Evo does, but Evo moved in recently. I don't know how she looked. But Never Summer doesn't get as much representation around here as I think that they should, like many brands. And I don't really know about that one. So I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys get to ride soon. If you come back to check out some of the video, they're gonna start throwing out some park stuff and kind of take it from a progression of park from the start of being a dingus to being wherever I can get to. So a lot of progression in the park, hoping for this year, and try to take that into some of the backcountry. And I do. On the red powder day, I plan to get inverted, but it's gonna have to be real powdery. So all the best. Yeah. thank you guys. Check out some of the goods from Sweden, says Brock. Dude, I check out all the goods from Sweden. I don't know what that means. Yeah, all the best. Make sure you guys come back for some more videos. It's going to be going up. Yeah, park boards. Taking it easy on the backcountry for a little bit because it is so dangerous at the moment. I think in the backcountry, or it's not great. But maybe some dip in the toes because there's some good side country around, and at least there you have a lot more knowledge about the area. You have a lot better access and a lot more people, and it's much safer. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll see how the weather goes, and all the best to you. Make sure you stretch out those hip flexors. Keep it loose, keep it safe. If you guys have any other comments, feel free to leave them over on the Instagram. Make sure that you hit me up over there at Chris the Mountain Man with some dots in the middle. And if you want to check out Dot's Instagram, she is the adventure dog with underscores in there. So yeah, all the best to you guys. Rock the companies that give back to the snowboarders. Thanks, Chris. Check out the goods from Sweden. Which goods from Sweden do you mean, bro? I like to. That's why I like these gloves. Made in Seymour, which is just in Vancouver. Yeah. Yes. Yes. They're Canadian. It's something made in not Canada. Okay, well, yeah, all the best, guys. Take it easy, and hope to see you soon. And I will try to do the live chat on Wednesday. I'll try. We'll see what happens. But I don't mind. I like these impromptu live chats, so I'll just throw something up and see what happens. And yeah, take it easy. Bye.